everybody, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snackbar with another round of 30 wins with 30 teams. We're pretty close to finishing up the NL Central. And then we're going to go to the American League East, which I know a lot of people are excited about because we've got we got a lot of very good teams in the American League East. So that'll be really, really cool. A lot of good competition there. It probably means I'm going to have to play a lot of different games. But this time, we are the Cincinnati Reds, so we will be focusing on them as we play the St. Louis Cardinals at the Great American Ballpark. Great stadium as well. I know I say that quite a bit, but honestly, I just love baseball stadiums. I can't say that enough. Anyway, so let's get things started off here. Bottom of the second, really nothing going in the first inning. Brandon Phillips is going to go ahead and hit this one into center field. I thought we were going to be seeing a catch, but misses the dive. Stand-up double. Not too bad for us to go ahead and start off this inning, and also the game, too, when it comes to highlights. So, with a double, it just means a good hit. Could go ahead and bring Phillips home. Now, we've got Jay Bruce up at the plate. So, nothing yet to him. Very first pitch, I swing at that one deep into center field. That is going to be a two-run blast. Now, I was very, very excited. I mean, I always get excited to be able to play as the different teams. But with the Cincinnati Reds, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have so much offensive power. I don't even know what I'm going to do with all of this. So I'm really glad to go ahead and be able to get this home run right here just because it proves my point that Cincinnati's got a lot of offense. So if that's what you're about, well, you're going to be seeing a lot of that here in this game if things continue to go like this. All right, couple pitches later here, still in the bottom of the second. We are not done yet. Another home run. So I guess not only do you like offense, but if you like the loud noises and the fireworks going on in the background, well, here you go. Back-to-back home runs here for the Cincinnati Reds. As much as I want to credit power, I mean, that was some pretty bad pitching, just leaving those breaking balls over the heart of the plate. Just makes it easy for anybody, really, to go ahead and be able to crank those out of the ballpark. So, just like that, 2 swings at the bat. Well, actually, 3 swings. We're up 3-0 now. Man, great way to start things off. Okay. Couple pitches later. Yet again. Going to be looking at a base hit that goes down the right field line. Not going to rattle around in the corner, but it'll bounce off the wall. I'm going to hold up at first. I don't want to do anything too crazy here to get the game started off. Because I don't know what it is with me. Like, whenever I play, the first few innings, I do great. Then I'm terrible in the middle. And at the end, well, I can do pretty good if I'm down. But I go ahead and I lay down the bunt. Want to make sure I get the runner in scoring position. So, Latos does his job. Making sure we get a pretty solid bunt. So, we looking at another run here, possibly. Ah, that was a bad one to swing at. High fly ball into short. Catch is going to be made. That's going to be it for the inning. Really not too much. All right, so as David Freese comes up to take his first at-bat of the game, of course, we got to talk some history with the Cincinnati Reds. Started in 1882. That is pretty sweet. So, here's something that's, I didn't know this. All right, so I knew that they started out as the Red Stockings. Okay, then they became the Cincinnati Reds. They were known that, okay, so Red Stockings 82 to 89, like 1882 to 1889. Cincinnati Reds, 1890 to 1953. I didn't know this, though. The Cincinnati Redlegs, for 5 years, from 1954 to 1959. And then the Cincinnati Reds became the Reds again in 1960. I didn't know that they had that little time here where they were the Redlegs. This is why 30 wins with 30 teams is so cool. I actually learned a whole bunch about the teams and everything. All right, so let's keep things going. Had a good second inning. Let's see what we can do here in the third inning. Brandon Phillips getting another chance at the plate. He's going to drive this one into center field, so he will end up with a single. Not as good as the double that he had earlier, but I'm going to go ahead. I'll take that. All right, so now that we got Phillips on first, Jay Bruce at the plate. Remember, he had that home run here in the last inning. That was a 2-run shot. And he does it again. Wow. Bruce has got some real power. I mean, of course, that goes without saying, but it's really manifesting itself here in this game. I'm really surprised, though, we haven't seen anything from Joey Votto. Who knows? There's still a lot of game ahead. We could end up seeing some more. So, well, Jay Bruce has single-handedly put 4 of the 5 runs on the board for us today off of 2 at-bats. So that's efficiency. All right, so going to be seeing a little talk on the mound here, trying to calm Garcia down. There's not too much you can do against the bats of the Cincinnati Reds. All right, Carlos Beltran, now a Yankee, up at the plate. So, as far as what we've seen for big victories out of the Cincinnati Reds, last time they won a World Series was 1990. I vaguely remember that. 1919 was their first World Series victory, then 1940. 75, 76, so they had back-to-back then. Won the NL pennant 9 times. And it made the wild card, of course, for the first time in their history last year. So, that's some good history. 5 World Series titles, not bad. So Jake Westbrook now is going to be coming in for the Cardinals here. Garcia really struggling. Gave up a hit here in the 4th inning. Yeah, it was in the 4th inning. Didn't amount to too much, but that's going to fall just short in center. And we're looking at another base hit for Braden Phillips. That's going to make 3 today. A double and 2 singles. So here's Brian Ludwig at the plate. 2 outs later, we're not done. We are not done. This is what is so cool, because with the Reds right here, all of my runs have been due to home runs. So it's kind of nice to be able to see that, especially when you take a look at some of the videos I'm going to do here in a little bit where hits are few and far between. And actually, some of the videos that I've done before this with 30 wins with 30 teams, the same thing has happened. It's been tough to get anything going, but here it just been a piece of cake. This would be a great team actually to do a franchise with the Cincinnati Reds. But this right here ends up being the first hit of the game for the St. Louis Cardinals. So I had a perfect game into the 6th inning until that double goes ahead and ruins it. So Latos, just tremendous performance. That's why you haven't really seen anything from the Cardinals. I had nothing to show except them striking out. So this will fall into left field. We're going to have runners at the corners. So Latos kind of in a little bit of a pickle. I mean, it's not going to go ahead and be too bad if you go ahead and give up a run or anything as Matt Carpenter comes to the plate. All right, we get a chance to talk about some players for the Cincinnati Reds over the years. So, Johnny Bench, one of, if not the greatest catcher to ever play the game. I actually have his jersey, and I like actually wearing it. I was a catcher myself, so I really look up to Johnny Bench quite a bit. Joe Morgan, Sparky Anderson, Barry Larkin, Hall of Famer. Recent Hall of Famer, I should say. Dave Concepcion, Frank Robinson, Tony Perez. And then, of course, you also have, now this may be a little touchy, Pete Rose. So I will put Pete Rose up there with one of the greatest Reds to ever play the game because of his ability to hit. I don't agree with him betting or anything like that, but credit needs to be given where credit is due. So I'm going to throw Pete Rose in there. Kind of lets you know where I stand on some of that stuff, but that's for another video, I guess, where I could talk about those things. That'd be kind of cool to do one where I talk about like Shoeless Joe and Pete Rose and everything and all that. But anyway, John Axford coming in now for the Cardinals. Now, after Cardinals get their first run, I'm kind of like, we got to do what we can here to make sure this doesn't continue. 7-1 the score here in the top of the 7th. Feeling pretty comfortable, of course, with the outcome of this game. Now, after that last home run, things have really gone ahead and died down for us quite a bit offensively. So it seems to be that the relief pitchers are now starting to get things done for the St. Louis Cardinals. I think there was one other pitcher, I can't remember exactly who it was, who came in, but really stopped me from being able to get some hits. Look at that. Only 9 balls for Latos. I mean, it's no secret. Oh, man. Oh, just foul. It's no secret. I mean, I like to pitch right at him. You know, I'm not going to go ahead and throw too much away to try and, you know, kind of fool him or anything. I mean, I will if it's like 2 strikes. I'm more than willing to go ahead and throw the ball outside of the strike zone, but with Latos, I'm not really needing to do that at all. I mean, this has been some fantastic pitching. Top of 8 now for the Cardinals. Jay. Ooh. He's going to get on first. Really, his speed allowed him to be able to do that. Actually making my left side of the infield work, too. All right, the Cuban Missile, Aroldis Chapman, will now be pitching. Now, with Aroldis Chapman, I mean, I had to go ahead and bring him in because, one, how can you not bring in a pitcher who has thrown the ball 106 miles an hour? That's impressive, to say the least. Also, too, with Aroldis Chapman, did a lot with the Tigers franchise last year when I was able to go and pick him up from a trade. I think his story is pretty cool, how he defected from Cuba to come play ball in the United States. But I had this thing where I mean, there was a couple times that I had played people online in baseball with, like, MLB 2K12. And I was always the Cincinnati Reds because great offense, as I've mentioned here. But what I like to do is I would bring in Johnny Cueto, and I would throw a lot of, like, off-speed pitches and everything because Cueto's velocity, not too impressive. Nothing that really stands out. And then once I got a few innings in, I'd come back with the Aroldis Chapman, and I'd be throwing these 100-something mile-an-hour fastballs at him and swinging right and left, and timing would be way off because they were so used to Cueto and everything. But, all right, 1-2 count. Holiday getting a base hit. That's not good. Because as far as relief pitchers go, anytime you give up a hit, that hurts their confidence more than anything else. But that's okay. I've got the 1 strikeout, so that gave him a little bit of a bump. 0-2 count to Craig. Swing and a miss. Not where I wanted it to be, but that's okay. It gets the job done. We're out number 2. Didn't want to go ahead and show the entire strikeout for the sake of time. Carlos Beltran at the plate. 1-2. Strike 3. Talk about how you end the game. Man, that's some efficiency from the closer. Anyway, thanks for watching. Here's the Cincinnati Reds end up winning this game by a score of 7-1. In the next one, we'll have the St. Louis Cardinals, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. As I mentioned, more of this to come later on, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, all that great jazz. But you guys are phenomenal people. You really are. Thank you again for watching, and as always, I hope you have a good one.